Hello good people, I'm Jason with Squad Car 37 and today I'm going to do a virtual jam session with an awesome drummer named Dimitri Fantini. I found him on Instagram, check this out. Anyway, that groove was so cool that I just had to create a track to go with it. So I put something together and I'm going to show you the behind the scenes on how I made that happen. Since I'm a guitar player, I often use the guitar as a creative starting point to kickstart ideas. In the jam session with Dimitri, I actually went in a totally different direction and used a really cool piece of technology. Let me show you. This little sucker is called a Roli block, and it's awesome. It's touch sensitive, it's movement sensitive, and when you turn it on, it looks like Kit from Knight Rider. So the first thing I did was I imported Dimitri's video into Logic. Logic is my software for music editing. In addition to the video, the audio comes through as well. So here's his audio. The second thing I did was I mapped the tempo, and Dimitri is playing right at 120 beats per minute, and he was very consistent all the way through his performance. So great job, Dimitri. Usually live drum performances ebb and flow with their tempo, but Dimitri nailed it all the way through, which made things really easy when I created this backup track. So on the creative side, the first thing I did was I used this Roli to come up with a little bass line. And you hear it goes really well with this drumming. I wanted it simple because I wanted Dimitri's drums to kind of be at the forefront, especially at the beginning of the track. Right at the beginning, Dimitri has this drum fill that's really epic. And so I wanted to augment that with some of the other elements. So I brought in some riser effects from the Roli so that things would intensify in the background as he's hitting this fill. Let me show you. So that happens right in the background when he's hitting these killer fills. Let me show you that. So I thought that gave it a bit of an intensity, an added intensity, just a little more flavor to what he was already doing. And I did those on the Roli as well. I added a couple other little accents throughout the track using software instruments. And I was basically doing all this stuff while I was at coffee shop. So let me show you some of those other added accents. This one is an ah vocal sound. And I think that's from Exhale. I think right after I came out with the bass line, the Roli bass line, I came up with this little hooky motif, which I also played on the Roli. So then in Exhale, looks like I added another voice riser. Exhale is just another software instrument, which is kind of cool. Again, all those risers together at the beginning sounded like this. Okay, so it just gives you a little bit of some intensity. There's another little Roli thing going on later on in the song. Okay, so you'll see that in the video where I kind of hit the note and then slide it up with the Roli, which is a really cool effect. Then I added a couple other little accents. This is in sax. Right, it sounds terrible on its own, but when you mix it in with everything else, it's kind of cool. So I think that worked pretty well. We've got a minor Roli pluck. Let's see what this was. Okay, so then guitar parts. And basically with this guitar solo, what I wanted to do was start out reinforcing the groove, introduce a little bit of a melody, and then intensify, and then end in sort of a cool crescendo, and make it interesting and fun and all that sort of thing. So here's that. Which, by the way, is exactly what this bass is playing. Right? So that little part kind of gets away from it just a bit, but it says, yeah, I want to play nice with everybody else, but I want to give you a little bit of my own personality here. And then it slowly starts breaking away from that and going off on its own direction, but then it sort of takes the lead, right? Literally. I added another guitar part, harmony, over top of it in the background. Now with those two together, basically an octave. One's playing the high part, one's playing the low part. Here's the harmony part for that section. So here's what they sound like together. I mean, there's a ton of effects and weird stuff going on there. It's a little bit braggadocious and big, but yeah, it was a guitar solo, so it's okay. So let's get to it. Here's the track. Hope you like it. So if you like this video, do me a kindness, lightly tap that like button. Lightly tap that like button. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you're watching YouTube right now, you'll see it right here somewhere maybe. Anyway,